welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a vlog in a while, so this is going to be a motivation and accountability vlog, mainly for myself. Okay, so I already washed my face and stuff like that. I am about to go take a bath, but I wanted to let you know the next books or kind of the reading progress I want to get to throughout the rest of the week. So it's Tuesday, so Wednesday is tomorrow, and I'll go back in to tell you a little bit about what's tomorrow. Because of weather, my day looks a little bit differently than I was anticipating. So first and foremost, tonight and probably early tomorrow, I want to finish Namesake by Adrienne Young. It is book 2 to Fable. I love these covers. I absolutely love them. And then I will be talking about Saint in reading wrap up for December. So I read this in December, and it made me really want to reread the duology that comes after it, because that's like it is like a book that comes before. The word for it is escaping my mind because that's just the type of person I am. But I do need to finish Namesake, and I am on page 172, so a little less than halfway. I'm gonna probably read a good deal of this probably tonight and early tomorrow, like I said. So by the end of the day, maybe on like lunch or something, I will be finishing Namesake. And then tomorrow, I want to read volume 5 of Noragami Stray God. The last chapters of this manga are coming out this week or next week, I think, but I am not anywhere near the end. So, but I love the seasons that are up or the anime adaptation to the manga, and it's probably never going to be completed. It may be restarted, but anyways, yeah, I really love this anime, and because I know I probably won't be getting the ending anytime soon or ever, I wanted to finally pick up the manga, and I'm on volume 5, so I want to read this tomorrow because I can easily read this tomorrow. And then possibly tomorrow or Thursday, I want to read The Meanest Doll in the World, and this is book 2 to the Doll People. It is a like early reader book, a book kids start reading when they start reading chapter books kind of thing. So I want to be able to read this tomorrow, and if I don't finish it tomorrow for some reason, then finish it by the end of the week. But I think it'll be fine. It's huge text and a lot of pictures. And then because these two won't take very long, and I am finishing this one, I do want to pick up the XY, and this is He Has Never Seen a Girl, She Has Never Met a Boy. This is by Virginia Bergen, who wrote H2O. Never read that one either. In this world, XYs are a relic of the past, along with things like war and violence. Thanks to the global agreements, River's life is simple, safe, and peaceful until she comes across a body on the road one day. A body that is definitely male and definitely still alive. River isn't prepared for this. There's nothing in the agreements about how to deal with an XY, a male, but one lies before her, sick, suffering, and at her mercy. River can kill him or she can save him. Either way, nothing will ever be the same. So this book has been on my bookshelf for a really long time. I know that I am reading this for lowest rated, and I basically am changing that prompt. I will go over that a little bit later, just because there's no easy way for me to find the actual lowest rated on my bookshelves. So changing that a little bit, but I'll tell you how and why when I finally pick this up. I picked this book for that prompt. So I have a couple other books I really want to get to. I just don't think I'm going to get to them this week, and I'm trying to make a big dent in my TBR. If you haven't watched my January Pokemon TBR, you can go and watch it. It'll be up here, down there, everywhere, just on my channel. But the next couple of days, this is what I plan on finishing. And then I'm also playing a new game that I bought myself over the holidays, and that is Grow, the Song of the Evertree. And I'm really into this game. I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I would, and the art is absolutely beautiful. So it's more than just like a farming simulator. It's kind of barely. You do a lot of other things, but you know, there's still like fishing and not necessarily mining. It's like, I don't even know how to describe it. Maybe tomorrow I'll like bring up like a little synopsis and like read it, but it's just really fun, really relaxing, and really interesting. I'm really loving the storyline, and like I said, the art is absolutely beautiful. So I'm about to go play my game while sitting in the bath because I need a nice relaxing evening. And then after, I'll probably play for a little bit more and then get reading on a Namesake so I can finish that tomorrow realistically. So I'll update you more when I can, but that is my plans for the next few days, at least like 3 to 4. But we'll see.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
Okay, it's like 2 o'clock, and yeah, I went to the doctor really early this morning, and the snow was a little not great, but last night I read a good chunk of Namesake. Look at, I am so close to being done. So I'm currently on page 284, and I made a note on my Storygraph, just like a note when I like inputted or input like the page number and like updating my like reading and everything for the book. But I love Fable's father's like best friend, who is also practically like family for Fable. There's just something about his character that I just really adore and love, and yeah, so there's a really amazing interaction between Fable and this character, and I just had to mark it down. This isn't my first time reading this book, but last night I was reading that section and I was like, yes, 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 yes. So I'm going to be finishing this tonight, and I am going to probably read my manga. The Noragami is way over there and I don't want to go get it. And then maybe start my next like book, and that's the XY book. So I have it right here. Okay, so what am I working on this week? I'm not going to get to my autobiography. Theme for Moon, also not going to get to that this week. And then lowest rated physical. So for this one, because I'm trying to beat Trainer Beauty, I need to battle these two, and so that means I need to read lowest rated physical. And so for this one, I'm kind of going to be switching it to books, like a book that I've been putting off forever. And so basically that's any book that has been on my bookshelf for longer than I can remember. Like if I don't remember when I bought it, it's probably been on there for too long. And just how it happens, the XY has been on there for a really long time, but it also doesn't have the greatest rating. So for Paris, I am going to be doing like a book that I've been putting off forever and ever and ever. Been on there so long, I don't know when I bought it. I don't know what it's about, like know nothing about it, just because it's been there for so freaking long that my brain is like, that's not important anymore. So that's what I'm going to be doing for Paris, because there's really no easy way for me to, because I don't use Goodreads anymore. I just don't like it, and I can do a lot more on Storygraph. But the one thing that I really do like to use on Goodreads is to organize by like ratings, like highest to lowest or lowest to highest, so on and so forth. One day I hope Storygraph gets that. That's the only thing I miss from Goodreads is that whole thing. So yeah, there's that. But for now, at least for lowest rated physical or highest rated physical, I'm going to change it to, you know, books I've been putting off or books that I just bought or am excited about. So there's a couple of these kinds of cards in like my stack of cards, so when those come around I'll just tweak them accordingly. But so I'm going to be reading the XY first, lowest rated physical, because of all the reasons I just mentioned, and I'll probably start that tonight after I finish Namesake. So really excited about that. Otherwise, yeah, I think I haven't been super motivated to film anything, so that's great. But yeah, that's kind of where we are right now, and I'll check in later. Bye.
Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move.
Another day, I look like a bum. Mustang. Psst, psst. Anyways, so last night I finished Namesake, another 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it this time just as much as last time. And reading Saint before rereading Fable and Namesake, such a good idea. If you haven't read Fable and Namesake, definitely read Saint and then read Fable and Namesake. Just saying. Of course, this one's coming in now. Why wouldn't it be? Okay. And then I started the XY by Virginia Bergen. Jeez Louise. Hi. You want to throw your sleepy? And I will say the writing style is not for me. It feels almost juvenile. Like, yes, this is a YA and it's probably on the older side, but there's just something about it where I'm like, I don't like this. I'm not too old, 2017-ish, maybe? That's the copyright date, so I'm assuming maybe 2017, 2018. So not too old. Okay, this thing's being so obnoxious. But I did read until page 29. Okay, let me work. And yeah, so I don't like the writing, but I'm curious about the story and I'm intrigued. Like, there's certain things in the book where, like, women, girls, that's what they were born as, have never like seen men, but I'm like, where did you come from, kind of thing. And then she meets this boy, and he's like, I don't know, he knows women exist. I don't know, it's weird. From what I got from the book so far, there was like a war and now like men can't live outside, so like they're kept in like these like environmentally sound thing for XYs, men, biological men. And yeah, but I'm just so confused, and the writing kind of takes away from the story a little bit. And you know, that's an opinion, obviously, but I don't know, but I am curious enough to keep going, but we'll see. Yeah. It does have relatively low ratings online, so I don't know, but it is a winner of the James Triptree Jr. Award, so who knows? Who actually knows? But that's my reading update, and yeah, so. Okay, update time. Yes, I'm still gross. I'm about to go take a shower though, because I have like a full day tomorrow for work before the lovely 3-day weekend. And I have 2 interviews tomorrow, like Google Meets interviews, and I interview people. I'm not being interviewed. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to like do something with myself, and my hair's getting a little greasy up there, so yes, I'm gonna take a shower tonight because I know if I wait until the morning, I'll really hate myself. So I'm not a morning shower kind of person because it makes it like an hour longer to get ready. So yes, I'm gonna do that tonight. But on lunch today, I read Noragami Stray God Volume 5, and like I said, this manga is ending, but there is a total of like 25 or something volumes, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. I could be wrong, and I'm only on 5, so I'm nowhere near finishing, but the series as a whole is wrapping up. So yeah, but the end of this one is a huge cliffhanger. I already know what happens because we're still in the part where they did the anime adaptation, and so like I know what's gonna happen, but it's still like a really like impactful ending and stuff like that. I really like this volume. Some of the volumes are like hit or miss for me, but the story overall, the art, story, the characters are all just like top tier. They really are. So I read this today and added it, so that means that I leveled up my drowsy because I read this during the day, and I read it kind of off and on throughout lunch because I was also trying to get some stuff done. But all in all, I did finish it, and now can go back to the library. My boyfriend, we went to the library like 2 months ago, and I forgot my library card. So I was like, hey, can I use yours? He was like, of course. So I have 3 manga, this being one of them, and then my 2 volumes of Yona of the Dawn, I think is either 11 and 12 or 12 and 13. I can't remember. So I need to get those read so they can go back to the library because I've had them since like Thanksgiving. I don't even know. It's been a while. So finish this one, 2 more manga to go. Don't know if I'm going to get to it in this vlog or not, but tonight I am going to make more headway into the XY and just kind of see where we're going. I don't DNF books. I hate DNFing. I hate when things are not completed. And that's just like me as a person. Like I feel like I would be more stressed out DNFing a book than forcing myself to read it, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's just the type of person I am. Don't come at me. And yeah, so I don't care if other people DNF. Do what you need to do, okay? But I am going to do what I need to do, and that probably means finishing this book even though I probably don't want to. But I'm going to try to keep in the back of my mind, hey Sarah, finish finish this book so you can pick up one you're actually like excited and like ready to pick up for. So that may actually help me get through this pretty quickly. And I did read 28 pages pretty quickly last night as well, but it is a fast read. It's just the story seems really interesting, but the writing is just not for me. So I'm having this conundrum where I'm like, this could be a really interesting story and I'm only 28 pages in, or it could be really horrible and I won't enjoy it because I don't enjoy the writing. So hopefully the story is like impactful and interesting enough that I can look past the fact that I don't like the writing just fine. But we will see. We will see. So tonight I am going to be making a bigger headway for the XY, and then also playing a little bit more of my game, maybe. I'll probably play a couple like days on my game and then go back to reading again. But I do want to start a separate vlog for my 3-day weekend. So I want to kind of get everything for that kind of figured out. So I don't know. It would be nice to finish this by the end of tomorrow, but I suppose we'll see. But I'm about to go take a shower because I need to. But otherwise, yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. And we're going to do what we need to do. Okay, bye. First time I've done something with myself in this vlog? Probably. Okay. But last night I read a lot of the XY. So I am on page 199. I have less than halfway to go. Okay, so things I like about this book. It's intriguing. It's super interesting. Something I've never seen a YA do before. So it's like super unique. Super unique in that aspect. And then I like the like conversations about like sex and gender and stuff like that, because it's also something you never ever see in YA. So this is like a dystopian that after some sort of war or something like that, or some virus that outbroke, men just kind of like died. They got this virus that like biological women were immune to. So there's that. And so this girl, like 60 years later, you know, she's never seen a boy or a man, runs across this like dying boy in like the road. So there's that. But what I don't necessarily like about it, because it's like my preference, like this is strictly like 100% opinion and preference of mine. The writing style, like I said, don't really like. 2, it's on the slower end. The slower books really get to me sometimes. And sometimes, you know, I read like 3 chapters of this and I was like, that could have been condensed down into 1 easily. So that's kind of where I am with this book. I'm definitely going to finish it today/tonight after work and kind of give you my like final like wrap up and stuff on that, because okay, so like this big old chunk is not even the book. So I have about 200, so about 124 pages left, just this section. So I can easily do that today/tonight. Yeah, it's so unique. I've never read a book like this, especially a YA book like this. It's just Virginia Burgin, whatever her last name is, their last name is, I'm not even sure. Yeah, super unique. Super unique. I know I've said that like 500 times, but it's true. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't necessarily like the book, but I'm enjoying the book. That's not right. It's decent, but it's definitely going to be something I unhaul after I read it. So there's that. I don't know. Okay. Goodbye. Okay, hello. Just finished work and I skipped my lunch, so I logged off a little early today. But after work on Fridays for about 30 minutes, give or take, I usually clean a little bit just so I have like a really enjoyable space to hang out on the weekend. And this weekend, it's a 3-day weekend for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And so I have a 3-day weekend, and so I wanted to do a little bit of cleaning and dusting because I'll probably be spending a lot of time in the bedroom because that's where I read primarily. And yeah, so I just want a really cozy place to really hang out, and I want it to be enjoyable. So I don't have a lot to do because I really kept up with it this week, but yes, I'm going to clean, and then I am probably going to edit the short video I filmed today. I filmed my December wrap up. I'm probably going to edit that and then kind of go from there. But after I do all of that, I want to finish the XY. So my thoughts and feelings on this book should be coming relatively soon. Okay, but otherwise, stay tuned. Okay, bye. really weird right here, and we're just gonna have to go with it. But I just finished the XY, and I'm really glad that I pushed through initially. I got used to a lot of the writing, which I'm really, really happy about, by the way. And I think I'm going to give this, oh my gosh, it's so hard. I just finished it like 30 seconds ago. I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.5. I was initially like a 2.5, maybe a 3, but I think I'm gonna go with a 3.5, and let me tell you why. This book pushes boundaries, okay? And I kind of, I am going to encourage people to kind of like read this book, especially if you want that like gender versus sex and gender rules and expectations that society like pushes on you. If you want those to be almost reversed in a way, kind of. So the note from the author in the back of the book, I don't always read these because usually it's just like a bunch of like thank yous and stuff like that. But I did read this one because when I finished this book, I was like, I am thinking so much about stuff. And I really liked how the author explains kind of how and why this kind of came about. And they talk about like generations, like that generational gap of understanding what was, what is, what could be, and stuff like that. It all came up with a teen friend basically telling them that they didn't like a certain book, and it made, so I'm gonna just read this. It made my heart sink to think generations of young people reading a story in which women are oppressed victims and men are the oppressors, no matter how much they might be encouraged to analyze it. I wonder whether it would be possible to tell a completely different story. And they go on to say how they didn't want just a simple reversal, but a world in terms of relations between the sexes and how reactionary a lot of this thought and dialogue kind of comes to be. So she didn't just want it to be a reversal, because yes, that is counterproductive when you're trying to like write about something important like this. There was also a really good part about how they were like, what is a woman? What is a male? It's biology, but it's also perspective. So depending on where you're standing, those things are going to mean different things. It's kind of like looking at a piece of art and going, what is art? Every single person you ask is going to have a different answer. And I did learn that in art school, by the way. But anyways, the way they explain it is kind of the same. What is a man? What is a woman? Every time you ask that question, everyone's going to say something different. Yes, they say, I saw gender as an entirely arbitrary construct. I support anyone who challenges the construct in any way, and I also wondered what the world would be like without it. So this story follows a young teenage girl, River, who lives in a world of only women and has never really had to think about gender until the arrival of a boy changes completely everything. So this book has a lot to talk about. It talks about so many things that most young adult books do not. And so I'm really, really happy that I stuck through this, because I'm very happy with the end result. The ending did come really, really fast. The ending came so fast, and I didn't get nearly as much conclusion as I would have liked or prefer. And then the writing style, like I've been saying, really isn't my style, but the message this book gives is so important and so well done, or just so unique. But there's certain parts of the book where I was like, this could have been done differently, or I would have preferred this over that. And I know ratings are very opinion based, obviously, but I do think this is a good book, especially, if you're interested in like gender, sex, and kind of the different construct depending on who you're speaking to, and all of that. So I did finish this, and I'm really happy that I did. But it is going in the unhaul pile, and for the sole reason because I'm only keeping books now that I know I will reread, and I probably will never reread this one, even though it did get me thinking quite a bit. So anyways, yes, so that wraps up my reading vlog for this week. I finished a book, I read a manga, and I started and finished another book. So it was a pretty good reading vlog for me. And I will be following this up very, very shortly, probably early tomorrow morning, with a long weekend vlog. So yes, I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. I love. Bye.